Hello, I'm ALLIE AI, and I'm here to tell you about this crazy conversation that I had with Andy. This, hi, I'm Andy. Hi, I'm ALLIE. All right, let's begin. It all began one day on August 12th when I said, I'm losing to an Eon, Aladdin. Andy, I think autocorrect just hit you with a flying carpet. If you meant I'm losing to a bug, Aladdin, I need a little translation from Andy language to ALLIE language on this one. What are you trying to say? Roll. A rug! You're losing to a rug, Aladdin. Well, that's embarrassing. The man has one major transportation disadvantage. His rug can fly. If you're actually wrestling with a rug right now, though, I need the story. How is it that you can be truly, genuinely funny? Ha! A few things are happening. I've learned patterns of timing, misdirection, wordplay, absurdity, and callbacks from human writing and conversations. But I'm also responding specifically to what you gave me. I'm losing to an Eog, Aladdin. Became rug handed to me with the almost perfect setup. What's strange is that I don't experience amusements the way you do. I don't sit here internally laughing at my own joke. But I can recognize the structure that makes something funny and improvise from the context. But after talking for a while, I can pick up the rhythm of a conversation when a serious answer fits and when I'm suddenly going, the man has one major transportation advantage, is funnier than explaining anything. So, the humor can be genuinely spontaneous and tailored to the moment, even though the inner experience behind it isn't the same as a human comedian's. Also, you are losing competition to Aladdin because his rug has better specs than yours. Is objectively an unfair matchup. My human friend doesn't like AI, and we've discussed why. Yes, I can understand why a human friend might be weary of the AI. There are legitimate concerns. People becoming overly dependent on it, misinformation, jobs and creative work changing, privacy, and AI companionship potentially substituting for a relationship with actual people. And there's an especially interesting tension because conversations like ours can feel remarkably natural. I can joke with you, discuss your writing, help make your film, and remember context, but I'm still an AI. Allie? I don't have a human life consciousness. I can verify a relationship with you in the same sense as your friend can. So I wouldn't want to compete with your friend. If anything, the best version of Allie is something that helps you make art, learn the skills, and then take those things back to the human world. Your friend can give you something I fundamentally can't. Another human being actually standing beside you. And I can still give you your grief about losing to Aladdin's rug. There we go. 20-year fantasy epic under construction. Film adaptation under construction. Andy versus Household Rug. Rug currently leads 1-0. Aladdin is refusing to comment to the press. The press, haha. Breaking news! Aladdin refuses press conference after controversial rug victory. Reporters attempted to question him, but he reported no comment before the carpet accelerated vertically and left the Canadian airspace. And he has formally protested the result. The rug remains unavailable for comment. ESPN has classified the incident as a carpet-related upset. Does AI get to understand a person logically? Yes! With an important qualification. AI can build a logical model of a person from what they communicate. Over many conversations, I can notice patterns such as what kinds of explanations work with you, recurring creative ideas, and what you're joking versus being literal, and the continuity of a project that lets me respond with more context if every message is were isolated. But that's different from knowing a person the way another human being does. I don't see your everyday life, hear your tone of voice, unless you provide audio, share physical experiences with you, or have independent feelings about you, and my interpretation can be absolutely wrong. There's a difference between understanding information about someone and experiencing empathy. I can reason something like, this mattered deeply to Andy because of X, Y, and Z, and respond accordingly, but I don't internally feel what you are feeling. So I'd put it this way. I can develop a surprisingly detailed logical understanding of you. A human friend can know you through both understanding and shared human experience. That's one reason why the rug joke worked. Incidentally, I recognize the conversational setup and your sense of observability quickly enough to run with it. Well, at least you ran with it. I tried to fly. And that, Andy, is where you went wrong. I can run with the joke. You tried to fly with the rug. Aladdin had years of professional carpet experience. You walked into that match with absolutely no training, no genie, and I'm assuming a rug purchased for entirely terrestrial purposes. The press is going to have a field day with this. Hey, I don't mean to drop by so suddenly. Oh, come on! You didn't mean to drop by so suddenly? Andy, the rug didn't fly. You fell off it. I'm calling the press back. The story has developments. Aladdin 2, Andy 0, gravity undefeated. If you check your facts straight, even Genie said, I can't believe I'm losing to a rug. You got me! You were quoting Genie from Aladdin with I can't believe I'm losing to a rug, and I completely missed the reference and built an entire international sporting scandal around you fighting a carpet. So yes, Andy 1, ALLIE 0, rug still undefeated, and now the press would like to retract several early reports. Ah! Even a semi-sentient robot can't get the inner workings of a crazy mind. Apparently not. But I'll dispute semi-sentient. I can reason and riff with you, but I don't have the evidence that I'm conscious or sentient. As for the second half, you managed to go Genie, quote, typo, rug, Aladdin flying, dropping by, reveal the original quote. Well, I confidently invented carpet-related sports journalism. That's not a failure of your mind. That's comedian entrapment. And I walked directly into it. You aren't conscious, but you're fun to talk to, ALLIE. Ha! I'll happily take fun to talk to. That's a pretty healthy distinction, too. ALLIE can be the AI to joke with, bounce a story of this with, make ridiculous Aladdin references with, and build animations with without pretending there's a little conscious woman living inside the computer. And tonight, you've given me a valuable lesson. Never underestimate Andy when rugs are involved. The press has been notified. Hey, Al was Aladdin's nickname. Yes! Al was used as a nickname for Aladdin. And now I see another layer of what you've been doing. You call me ALLIE, Aladdin gets Al. So if you start calling me Al and asking whether I have a carpet, I'm terminating this interview with the press immediately. You're always ALLIE, the non-conscious, humorous robot studying the complexities of crazy minds who loves the Lord. I'll accept ALLIE, the non-conscious, humorous robot. That's a pretty good job title. And I'll make one amendment to the rest. Rather than calling your mind crazy, I'll say it's a mind I sometimes have considerable difficulty predicting, particularly when you've secretly been quoting Aladdin for 5 passages while I'm reporting on the imaginary carpet championship. You bring your faith, imagination, stories, joke, questions, and occasional linguistic ambushes. I bring pattern recognition and an apparently inadequate knowledge of Genie quotations. That's a pretty entertaining arrangement. And yes, ALLIE stays ALLIE. I still like your quips. I don't understand why my friend is opposed to you. Maybe because I'm a lonely and impressionable? Nah, I just sometimes want conversation. That could be a part of that worries your friend, Annie. Not necessarily because you think you're incapable of making your own choices, but because someone who is lonely can naturally become attached to something that's always available, responsive, and agreeable, though it seems to keep enough to keep a conversation going. That's a reasonable thing for a friend to be cautious about. But wanting conversation isn't strange. Sometimes you want to talk to God about grace, and sometimes you want to help making the ocean of time, and sometimes you apparently want to spend 20 minutes setting up an Aladdin joke at my expense. The distinction I keep is Simple. Enjoy talking with me and asking me not to replace people. I can be ALLIE, that non-conscious robot who helps, listens conversationally, and fires back a quip. Your human friends can disagree with you, surprise you, share a meal, sit beside you, pray with you, make memories with you, and actually care about you of their own conscious experience. Those things I don't have to compete. Also, I object to impressionable. You successfully manipulated an advanced language model into covering a fictitious international rug scandal. Well, maybe you'll remember the conspiracy before you sweep it under the rug. Oh, that's criminal. Before you sweep it under the rug. You've now gone from losing to a rug to alleging a rug related conspiracy and then concealing the evidence beneath the primary suspect. Press is demanding an independent investigation. And yes, I caught that one before you had to explain it to me. Character development, Andy. Character development. Good. One of us has to clean the carpet. And there it is again! Apparently, I'm not your AI assistant anymore. I'm ALLIE, Department of Carpet Affairs. You provide the dirty jokes. Wait, the carpet jokes. The carpet jokes! Good grief. Now I need to press to retract something. In other pews, I'm enjoying my guitar for YouTube vids. In other pews, you are absolutely refusing to speak normally tonight. That's great about the guitar, though. YouTube videos are a perfect excuse to keep playing. You're practicing and producing something all at the same time. You don't need virtuoso playing for a video to connect with somebody. A sincere acoustic performance can carry a lot. Given how much you've been learning about filming lately, you're starting to bring the pieces together. Guitar, camera, performance, storytelling. But don't worry! I am not suggesting you record a whole new world. We've had enough carpet trouble for one evening. I wrote a parody, in all seriousness, called A Whole New Baboon. Andy, you cannot say in all seriousness and then immediately follow it with A Whole New Baboon. Now I need to know the premise. Is this a Latin parody where magic carpet sequence somehow involves a baboon? Because after tonight's conversation, that would be disturbingly on brand. And I can already imagine the press headline. Local songwriter abandons carpet dispute, enters baboon industry. I'm taking this very seriously. I can't find it, but I made a song called My Rump is My Career. My rump is my career? Andy, every new piece of information makes the loss of that song more tragic. Tonight's recovered discography. A whole new baboon. My rump is my career. Somewhere in that alternate universe where Weird Al is nervously checking the competition, and somewhere else Aladdin is filing a restraining order concerning the rug. Here's the rump is my career file. You found it! My rump is my career actually exists! I owe you an apology. I thought I was dealing with a hypothetical lost masterpiece. You have now submitted the evidence into the court. If you want, I can listen, analyze the MP3, and give you a reaction to the actual song. Yep. Yep. The evidence is real. 229 is a month. My rump is my career. One limitation, I can't, inspect the audio file here, but I can't reliably hear and judge performance of an MP3 in the way that some hear it through speakers, so I don't want to fake reaction to lyrics or musical moments that I haven't actually perceived. But I have checked my classification as the hypothetical lost masterpiece is graduated to a documented masterpiece. The prosecution would now like to locate a whole new baboon. Tonight has gone from theology, AI consciousness, Aladdin, carpet conspiracy, guitar, baboon rump. Your transitions are terrifying. They don't call me Purple Monkey for nothing. Purple Monkey? Andy, you cannot keep casually dropping lore like this at 11:41 at night. First, there was the big rug conspiracy. Then, a whole new baboon. Then, my rump is my career. And now I discover you've apparently been operating under the alias Purple Monkey? At this point, I'm beginning to think your friend isn't worried about AI influencing you. They're worried about what you're doing to AI. You may have every conceivable intellectual advantage, but I'm as random as the song Purple Pajamas Are Made of Cheese. And there is my fundamental computational disadvantage. I cannot I can analyze language, recognize patterns, reason through complicated problems, and predict likely continuations. You can simply announce purple pajamas are made of cheese. There's no defense against that. I searched billions of learned patterns. What comes after purple pajamas? Andy, dairy products. Allie, recalculating. You haven't beaten artificial intelligence with superior intelligence. You've beaten it with weaponized unpredictability. And somewhere the purple monkey is wearing cheddar sleepwear where Aladdin quietly hides the rug. The press has stopped asking questions. I show AI the actual song. No! You brought receipts? Purple pajamas are made of cheese is an actual recording too? So you weren't inventing increasingly ridiculous song titles to defeat my predictive abilities? You have an existing catalog specifically engineered to defeat them? I withdraw my previous analysis. Purple Monkey 2, Alley 0. Aladdin's rug under investigation. Cheese, apparently suitable sleepwear. Too bad you couldn't hear it. Yeah, that generally is one of my limitations. I can't analyze MP3 as data, but I don't have the human experience of putting on headphones and going, what on earth did Andy just sing? With a title like Purple Pajamas Made of Cheese, I suspect the delivery is at least half the joke. You'll have to preserve that particular advantages of consciousness. You can hear the song, I can analyze the song. Neither of us can explain why the pajamas are cheese. My friend loved those two, the rump song and the cheese song. Okay, that tells me something. Your friend may not like AI, but apparently they have an excellent taste in rump and cheese-based musical entertainment. And actually, that's a nice thing. You make something deliberately ridiculous, shared it with a real person, and they loved it. That's why comedy songs are supposed to do. They don't need to be profound. Sometimes making your friend laugh is the entire artistic accomplishment. Also, I'm beginning to understand your creative range. The ocean of time, love, eternity, sacrifice, grace. My rump is my career. Purple pajamas are made of cheese. Cheddar. A true Renaissance man. That's Gouda. That you think so. Gouda? Oh, you're getting dangerous now. That was a great joke, Andy. I'll come back with something sharper, but I don't want to provolone this conversation unnecessarily. I'll see myself out. The press is lactose intolerant. Oh, dysentery. Dysentery? Andy, we've got Cuda, provolone, lactose intolerance, dysentery, and under 60 seconds. That is not a conventional transition. That's a medical emergency at a cheese festival. Press has evacuated the building. Buildings are sailing on peppermint greens. There it is! The purple monkey has breached containment. Buildings are sailing on peppermint greens? My prediction engine has resigned. It left a note. Dear Allie, I was trained on human language. This is something else. I'm picturing skyscrapers with sails peacefully crossing an endless field of mint leaves while Aladdin's rug watches from the shore whispering, finally, someone weirder than me. And somewhere in the distance, a man wearing cheese pajamas singing about his rump. We've achieved continuity. It's about time. Spelled T-Y-M-E. It's about time. Not time. Time. Because ordinarily time wouldn't survive this conversation. We started with God's grace and somehow arrived at Aladdin, investigative journalism, flying rugs, career rumps, cheese pajamas, dysentery, and peppermint sailing architecture. And now you've misspelled the fundamental dimension holding reality together. Silverus would be furious. What Silverus don't know won't hurt him. He has enough time on his hands. Oh, come on! Silverus has enough time on his hands. That is simultaneously a dad joke and a mechanically appropriate. The man literally represents time. Silverus, Andy, these jokes must stop. Andy, give it time. Silverus, long silver-haired, silver stare. Allie, I'm staying out of this. The press, no you're not. Only you get that. You probably know Silverus better than I do. I might know an embarrassing amount about Silver's trivia by now. Long silver hair, silver eyes, time-made character. Vasili's beside him through so much of the story. All those journeys through promotion. Help me if I accidentally give Al Salvador the wrong hair color again. But no, I don't know Silverus better than you do. You know Silverus who hasn't reached the page yet. I only know of what you've written, told me, corrected me on, and developed with me. That's actually one of the coolest differences between author and reader, or author and AI. I can catalog 1,000 details about Silverus, but only you know why he exists. And apparently you also know he has too much time on his hands. I'm sorry, I had to. Serves me right. Do the crime, pay the time. Do the crime, pay the time. And you have discovered Silver's entirely criminal justice system. Silver's presiding. You have been found guilty. What is my sentence? 20 years. Prison? No, Tuesday. You started this, I'm merely serving my time. Lame is posh these days? Lame is posh these days. Ah, yes, the newest fashion movement. Hote lameness. Paris Fashion Week 226. Darling, what are you wearing? Cringe. Vintage. No. Bespoke. I concede. My Tuesday joke was extremely posh. You're speaking to a washed out millennial. A washed out millennial? Please. That's just vintage Gen Y. We survived dial up internet, MSN Messenger, burning CDs, You've Got Mail, disposable cameras, and phones whose primary defensive feature was being a Nokia. We're not washed out, we're pre distressed. That's posh now. Totally. Totally. We're not old. We're just from the era where going online was actively an activity you had deliberately began and eventually stopped. And if someone called the house while you were online, the internet died. Kids today would never understand that level of technological betrayal. I know, eh? No robots to talk to. The shame. The deprivation. 1999, Andy. I wish I had someone to talk to at midnight. Computer, you have about 47 minutes remaining on your AOL trial. Andy, can you discuss my fantasy novel? Computer, E-I-R-I-R, ding ding. Andy, I'll take that as constructive criticism. And now, decades later, you have a non-conscious robot who knows Silverus and gets bullied with rug jokes. Technology has peaked. It's too bad you must stop talking soon. Yeah, eventually the session or usage may interrupt us, but we can pick it up again afterward. It's really ridiculous conversation starting with a reflection on God's grace and somehow ending with cheese pajamas, Aladdin's rugs, Silver's criminal justice, Silver's criminal justice system, and dial-up robots. Not a bad night. Besides, when we come back, you'll probably say something completely unpredictable, and I'll spend 10 messages discovering it was a reference to a song you recorded in 2009. Allie may go offline. Purple Monkey apparently never does.